Hey everybody, it's the dude here, back again to bring you another video, and as always I'll be talking about The Walking Dead. Specifically today about the Sanctuary Assault that took place in episode 100, episode 1 of season 8. This has been something that the show has been building to since the death of Glenn and Abraham, and it had a lot to live up to. It's a pretty famous scene from the comics, and I was very excited for it. But before that, I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler warning. If you're not caught up on the show, you shouldn't have clicked on this. But also I will be discussing what happened in the comics. I won't be talking about anything that happens in the future of the comics, but only what happened in the assault on the Sanctuary. I gotta start off by praising this scene for doing something that the show rarely does. In this scene, the TV show fixed a major plot hole from the comics. Just like the books, all our three groups, the Kingdom, the Hilltop, and Alexandria, all show up in front of the Sanctuary. Negan and his lieutenants come out. In the books, it's just Negan. He doesn't really have a whole series of lieutenants. It's mainly just Dwight. Rick thinks that he has the upper hand until, like in the show, Negan brings out Gregory, who has betrayed them. He tells him that the Hilltop stands with Negan and that if you fight Negan here, you and your family will be thrown out. I've always thought that the actor who plays Gregory, Xander Berkeley, is just perfect for the role. He's a dick and he's sleazy, but he also has this below-the-surface subtlety. You can tell that he is conflicted. I mean, he's a selfish bastard, but he doesn't want to side with Negan. He's just doing the best for him. He does such a great job of acting like he's acting, and I think he's brought the character to life so well. This moment does, however, have a different outcome than in the books. In the show here, this plan doesn't work at all. None of the Hilltop people leave, and Jesus has this line, "The Hilltop stands with Maggie," which actually I think was pretty great. In the comics, like a dozen people do leave, which is like a quarter of their army, and this still makes Negan really mad. Like, he didn't really get what he bargained for with Gregory. Speaking of Jesus, he has this line from the comics where Maggie, after the whole Gregory reveal, turns to him and like, "I'll understand if you leave," and he says, "All I have at the Hilltop are a bunch of books." God, I love that line so much. It was cool. It's like a classic line that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And in the show, for some reason, they said, "All I have at the Hilltop are a bunch of books and a lobster bib." What? What? That's fucking stupid. That's so... Oh, it makes me so mad. I'm not the biggest fan of Jesus. I have never been. He just needs to have more presence. This guy's a little British boy, and he's written even worse. It would be something if the additional thing that he has at the Hilltop, like a fucking lobster bib, is something that we've seen before. We've never seen this lobster bib. Why would he bring it up now? And it made this very cool line a joke in a very serious situation. I absolutely hate it. I'm gonna get back to the thing that this scene does right. So Negan in the books is furious at Gregory. In the show, rightly so, it is Simon, who I love. He's like, "I feel like I've wasted my time with you," and he kicks Gregory down a set of stairs. Which is crazy that he survives. I mean, he's an old man. This specific little moment, Gregory getting kicked, is like the smallest panel you could imagine in just one issue of the book. And it's a silhouette of Negan kicking Gregory off this balcony. And that's all we get of Gregory until, like, 2 issues later, he just shows up somewhere else. And seeing as how what was about to happen is like a bunch of zombies storming the place, and the fact that Gregory doesn't have like a vehicle or any kind of skills and doesn't know how to kill zombies, it made like no sense that he was able to survive. And I was always of the opinion that that was a super big plot hole. But in the show, holy cow, they fixed that. At the end of the episode, they incorporate Gregory into the whole Gabriel gets captured bit. I absolutely loved, one, that they answered the question of how Gregory gets out, but they also had it involve him doing something despicable. Some people I talked to were like, "How did Gregory survive running through all the bullets?" And some people I talked to were like, "Why didn't Gabriel just follow him?" But I think that the scene was actually done really well. Gregory is a dick and doesn't deserve to be as lucky as he is. And as he was running, I legitimately thought that he was just about to get a bullet to the head. The scene wasn't in the books, so maybe they were going to kill him. So the fact that they could create the sense that I actually felt that Gregory was going to die means that it's totally reasonable why Gabriel wouldn't follow. So honestly, I give that change like 2 thumbs up. Big fan. Lastly, I'm going to discuss a couple of issues that people are having with this scene. There's like an act break in the middle of the episode where Rick is just like, "Do you want me to count?" Which is a reference to when Negan counted for Rick to cut Carl's hand off in the previous season premiere. And he gets to like 6, but then he just starts shooting. And then it cuts to commercial, and everybody's just like, "Oh, I hope Gavin dies," or like, "Who's gonna get shot? It's amazing." And then we come back and everybody is unloading all of their bullets, which, sidebar, I hate how much they shoot bullets in the series. Like, Eugene hasn't been making bullets. There's no way everybody should have these many fucking bullets. It's hard to watch an apocalypse show where everybody can shoot automatic weapons all the time. But anyway, they're shooting and we're all like, oh yeah, somebody's gonna get shot. But no, they're shooting all the glass. And a big problem a lot of people have is like, why didn't they shoot everybody? And I think there's two reasons why. The first is something that Rick was saying throughout the episode, that nobody needs to die. Only one person needs to die, and that's Negan. And it was made clear that Rick did have the intention to kill Negan. There was this great bit where he was unloading his rifle at Negan, who's huddled behind this thing, and Gabriel pulls him away. Rick does want to kill people, but he doesn't want to kill Negan's lieutenants. He gave them the opportunity to come over his side. He wants everyone to make it out of this alive except Negan. And shooting the glass is something that happened in the comics, and it was in the comics the way that they made noise in order to lead all the zombies to the sanctuary. That's actually the only way they lead zombies. There's not this whole Daryl side quest about leading a herd of zombies. So it makes the shooting the glass pretty unnecessary if they had had all these explosions lined up and this whole crew of people herding the walkers. With all the gunfire going on, they really didn't need to waste their bullets on the glass. It made sense in the comics because that's all they were doing, but in the show it just was a reference to the comics that made everyone really confused. Why aren't they shooting them? Why are they shooting the glass? They already led the zombies here. It didn't really make sense. It's like they were adapting the comics perfectly and then they added some stuff and then these things conflicted. I did, however, love seeing Negan, like, by himself with what appeared to be an injured leg, almost getting killed. It was really awesome, and I loved how he and Gabriel got stuck together. In the trailer, I kind of assumed that Gabriel had just run into the sanctuary and then Negan comes out of the shadows and he's got all his men with him. But the fact that they are stuck together is amazing, super exciting. I hope that there's like a legitimate conversation scene between them. I would love to get some Gabriel that didn't completely annoy me, because honestly throughout the whole episode, him being like, it's not about you, Rick, or whatever his lines were, I totally hated it. I thought the delivery was off. I just can't watch Gabriel without cringing. Sorry. Maybe if he's in a scene with Jeffrey D. Morgan, it'll work. I would also like Negan to mention how Gabriel lied earlier last season in episode 4 about how Maggie was dead. Gabriel was the constructor of that lie, and Negan had just found out about that in the season finale, so if that's not brought up, I'll be disappointed. Speaking of Maggie, Maggie isn't present at this battle during the books because it's honestly pretty dangerous, and she's pregnant, and, like, is the hope for the whole world because she has this baby. They kind of tried to explain it with, like, okay, you'll do this mission, but then the next one, I don't know why she was there. I love Lauren Cohan, but I would think that baby takes priority. All in all, there was some disappointing elements, there was some confusing elements, but the thing that I keep thinking about is how proud I am that I know what happened to Gregory. I know it might seem like a tiny thing that doesn't really matter, but I really loved it. I loved him setting Gabriel up and just being a terrible person and them fixing a plot hole. I was impressed, and it in a lot of ways overshadows any of the mistakes that I see. So let me know what you think of that fixed plot hole down in the comments section, and what you thought of the Sanctuary Assault. Was it lame, underwhelming, the best thing you ever seen? Be sure to check out my other Walking Dead Season 8 videos. If by some chance you like this video, please just hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it if you want to get some notifications. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, even though I'm never on there. And as always, watch it again. This has been The Dude. See ya.